At 11 stone 5 and fighting out of the red corner, wearing the orange shorts, he enters the ring with a record of 14 wins from 19 contests. Ladies and gentlemen, from Peterborough, presenting and introducing Cello, Renda. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black shorts and weighing at 11 stone 7, he brings with him an undefeated 22-fight record. After appearing in the US TV series The Contender, he's back on home soil to challenge for the English title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Liverpool, the reigning WBU International Middleweight Champion, Paul Smith. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
But you're both interested, you know what I expect. Our professors are all time playing instructions. Watch your edge, keep it clean. Okay, any questions? Let's go to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 3-minute rounds for the vacant Middleweight Championship of England.
Well, there's Cello, Renda and Paul Smith, popular figure. You heard during the referee's introductions that the crowd is with Smith. By his own standards, he was disappointed with his last performance in December when he outpointed Francis Checa. He's really looking for a spectacular win as he returned to British soil, maybe just trying a little bit too hard on that occasion, and he'll be looking to be right back into top form here tonight. Well, Cello, Renda, Richie, I know you've seen him working out, you've seen him in action. What can we expect?
He's not a bad kid. He's been up at our gym in Birmingham and sparring with a few of the middleweights that I've got up there. And yeah, he's a very heavy-handed kid, to be quite honest. Whether he'll have the skill to cope with Paul Smith, Smith's a different kettle of fish, but he certainly can punch. My lads have said all last week and the week before that, yeah, he's a hard-hitting middleweight.
Smith wrestled to the ground, and Marcus McDonnell, brother of Jim McDonnell, once European super featherweight champion, he will have nothing to do with that. He will not be happy with that, and having a few harsh words. Renda straight away trying to bully Smith around, trying to tell the Liverpudlian, well, here I am, and you are in a fight. You're not going to get everything your own way. Smith, who says he wants the British title, currently held by Wayne Elcock. He'd like the Commonwealth title held by Darren Barker. Some good middleweights in this country. Gary Lockett, of course, the WBU champion. One or two other decent fighters still around in that division. Smith got Nick Williamson, his cuts man, working with him tonight. And he does have a tendency to mark up. It's a good body shot from Renda. Started well.
Yeah, started quite well, Cello Renda. Got behind his boxing and he's starting to work with the left up to the body and also a right hand. There's another one. But Smith himself, dangerous with the left up, Paul Smith. He'll look to get inside Renda's lead and land that shot, that left hook.
Smith really impressed Buddy McGirt when he worked with him in the Contender Series. And he has now become his full-time trainer. Talented fighter and top trainer from the United States.
Right, stop it!
Enzo Calzaghe at ringside. He's going to be a key man later this evening, of course, in the corner with Enzo Macronelli. Keep everybody wanting to watch all the action here tonight, because we really have some top-class fights for you. Well, Renda's had his share of success in this opening round, I tell you.
Yeah, a couple of good shots there from Renda towards the end of this round. Lovely right hand.
Interesting opening round, and Renda showing that he has brought plenty to the party. Trained by a hard man of the British ring of years gone by, a familiar name from down Bristol way, Chris Sanagar, and there's Paul Smith getting words of advice from Buddy McGirt.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to stay on the outside. Don't do that with this guy. Okay, stay downstairs with him. When you get caught with the body, come up the middle. That's all you got to do. Okay, you're looking to land the one bomb. No good, baby. All right, now listen. You got to give me the head movement. You're not moving the head.
Not moving the head, Richie. Taking too much. There was the illegal wrestle to the floor.
Yeah, that was a bit silly, a bit naughty, but I thought it was quite a good round from Renda. He ended the round well. Good left hook to the body there. That was a super shot. Got through with a couple of good right hands as well. I think when Smith... Oh, that was a bit low from Renda. But yeah, not a bad round from Renda.
Seconds out, round 2.
Cello Renda, 22 years old. 3 years the younger man, stands about 6 foot. He's got a slight reach advantage over Smith. And you heard his trainer saying you've got to get in close, work to the body and bring them up inside and not go for the one-punch knockout. Renda's showing that he's a handful at the moment, though. British Masters champion for the record. Won that title earlier this year. And he stopped 9 of his 14 wins. Smith, as Paul Dempsey was telling you, turned pro in 2003 amid much publicity, coming in after winning the silver medal at the Commonwealth Games up in Manchester.
Break, stand back, focus, step right back, box.
Just a little bit slow to get into this one, but that's a better right hand that he landed there, and he's already starting to mark up a little around the right cheekbone, reddening there. It's got very high cheekbones as Smith, and does mark up, as I was saying.
Smith's just waiting just a fraction too long, and Renda's got good tactics here by keeping Smith on the back foot. I think Smith's just got to force the pace a little bit and maybe switch downstairs to the body and try and get his man back onto the ropes and in the corners to land his favourite left hook.
Shouts of "come on, Paul" at ringside. Plenty of support for the Liverpudlian. Smigger, the scouser.
I was talking to his father at the weigh-in yesterday. Great character.
Renda might be cut around the right eye. Yep, there's blood around the right eye of Renda, maybe on the cheek. But certainly marked up, and he doesn't need to be absorbing shots like that. Smith's starting to find his range.
I think the blood might be from either the nose or the mouth, actually, John. I don't think it's the eye or the cheek. We should have to see at the end of the round. Listen to wipe his face.
A smear of blood going upwards, you reckon? I'm not too sure. Doesn't look too clever, whatever it is. And Renda will sense that. He'll know that he's injured one way or another. They'll have some work to do in that corner. Well, his mouth is a mess, is Renda, as he goes back to the corner. I think he has got a graze around the right cheekbone as well. And there's a lot of blood around his face.
Box him well, all right. You need to get your right hand in front of your nose to protect your nose. Your nose okay?
There you are, you're right, Richie, it's his nose.
Yeah, it looks, obviously he's got some damage there to the nose, and the blood is running into the mouth as well, so it looks probably a lot worse than what it actually is. But some better shots from Smith in that round. Got through with a couple of good right hand, left hook combinations. But he's just waiting just a fraction too long, John. Bit of a head clash as well there.
Yeah, that wouldn't have helped. Not sure that was what caused it, I don't think so.
Seconds out, round 3.
Well, they've done a good job mopping up the damage from that bleeding nose on the face of Cello Renda. How did you score it so far, Richie? Renda had a good opener, but Smith came back well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think I've got it one apiece now. Smith, for me, come back into it in that round. But two closely fought rounds, to be quite honest. But Smith, like his corner have said, needs a little bit more head movement. But now he's starting to dig in with some better shots.
Went down very well with the contender boys in the United States. They were impressed when he fought in that match last year up in Newcastle. And then went, or was it the year before last? The year before last, wasn't it? Late end of 2006, and then went back and performed again well in the last series, Contender 3. Had a real war against David Banks. You see that fight?
Yeah, he did. I thought he boxed well in the Contender. Here, though, he landed with a couple of great left hooks to the body, but then was a little bit negative going back onto the ropes. And just allowed Renda back into it there. Renda should be looking to land the right hand. That's the shot that's been doing most of the damage for him. Doubling up the jab and sending the right hand over. There it is again.
Good work from Renda.
Wrestle, don't spoil it. Push him away. Just push him away. Push him away, Renda. Push him away, son. Let's get out of there.
Smith again, content to allow his man to back him up onto the ropes. Is he trying to sucker him in so he can catch him on a counter?
Well, he might be, John, but at the same time, it doesn't look good when, you know, you're back into the corner. Just waiting a little bit too long.
Thought he had a good second round, and he's just lost momentum here a bit, and fair play to Renda, because he's sucked it up. He had that damaged nose, and he's had a better round again. Body shot from Smith in that closing exchange.
Backing up too much, okay? You got to stop backing up so much. The water, please. You got to stop backing up so much, Paul. You're letting the guy get brave on there, man. Okay? You're not working the body or nothing. You're trying to land the one bomb upstairs. Once on the ropes, you're doing an uppercut and hook. That was it.
Lane.
Okay?
Get the
Come on, baby. You got to stop working the body, man.
There's Enzo Calzaghe watching and maybe just about hearing those words from Buddy McGirt. He's going to have an important role to play later on, and a lot of big names are here tonight. There's Amir Khan. It really has been a hot ticket, this one. Black market doing a lively trade, and at ringside I'm told that the hospitality packages were going for something like £1,000 a time.
Bit too steep for me, John. I'm glad we're here commentating.
They could have sold your ticket. Well, Smith has been told in no uncertain terms, as you heard, that he's got to step it up. One shot is not enough, and just sinking back onto the ropes is not one which is a sound tactic. It's not something which is going to be impressing the judge on this case for an English middleweight title fight. It's the referee Marcus McDonnell. We are now in the fourth round of 10, and on your card, Richie, you've got Smith behind, Renda just edging it.
Yeah, he's just nicking it for me. He's got the tactics right. He's keeping Smith on the back foot, and he's doing a little bit more. What Smith's got to do, he's got to keep that head moving. He's got to start pushing his man back a little bit, find the openings to land that left hook, but he's got to be closer to Renda, but he's got to be pushing him back.
took a solid shot there. Certainly not going according to script 100% for the undefeated Liverpudlian. Renda, a man who has lost 5 times.
Head. You know you're doing it, don't do it.
Well, you heard that pretty loud and clear. You know you're doing it, don't do it.
Stop boxing, stop boxing, stop boxing. There you go, there you go, there you go, great.
And again now Renda dabbing away at that blood around his face. Doesn't look very pretty. How much would that be affecting him?
Well, the problem with a nosebleed like that is it's running into the mouth, and it can be really can be a nuisance. His mouth's open, running into the mouth. It won't be very nice, John, believe you me. But it looks a lot worse than what it actually is.
Don't hold him, make a break, son!
Smith's got Albo on his trunks at the back there. That's his old amateur trainer, Jimmy Albertini, from the Rotunda Club in Liverpool. Great amateur club. And he passed away a few years back.
And baby Paul on the left-hand side of his shorts. Became a dad last year.
Stop boxing, stop it, break, let him out. Step back,
Actually
Smith,
delivered
step
the
back.
baby himself, he was telling me.
Fantastic.
Good luck to him. Let's take another look at the damage to that nose of Cello Renda. Had to work away at that almost from word go. Damaged early in the second round, and you can hear him struggling to get his breath.
I mean, let them go and freeze, and what you're starting to do is you're starting to do that on rolling for no reason.
Close round again, Richie. How did you give that one, Renda, or?
I thought John again, he probably just did enough for me. Smith's just not doing enough work. He's getting caught. Got caught with a good 1-2 there. Just being outworked at this stage. He's just got to waken up a little bit. Smith's got the class, he really has, but he's just failing to deliver at this stage.
No, maybe let's go. Come on. Sit down.
But McGirt getting a little bit concerned. Come on, let's go.
Round 5.
If your scorecard's right, Richie, he needs to. A couple of rounds down, you've got it. Smith, you sense, needs a strong round, needs to start to impose himself on this fight if a great opportunity is not to slip away. He is, if you like, a house fighter. He's a Sports Network fighter. Been promoted by Frank Warren through his career.
That was better from Smith, a good right hand there. Backs it up with the left hook. This is a little bit better. Now he's pushing Renda back. Looking a lot more positive.
That's what he has to do. The instructions to Smith when you're getting close, work the body, don't just lean on. Heads bumping and boring, and I think Renda might have a... Well, both of them getting told to clean it up, but you could see the heads going in.
We can get out, let's get your arms out, don't you? Let's work out of there, let's get out, push each other away. Don't wrestle, let's get out.
Good shot, good body shot.
Yeah, super shot that was. Throw that 1-2 and just drop the shoulder. Just whip the left up to the body, just underneath the elbows. And they sap your strength. This is a better round for Smith now, finding his range a little bit better.
He needed it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did need it.
Occasionally you hear the voice of Chris Sanagar above the hubbub coming from the Renda corner. He was a tough fighter.
Good trainer as well.
He was somebody in the ring who always gave 100%, as those who, with long enough memories to have seen him, would testify. Well, I reckon that was pretty clearly a Paul Smith round.
Definitely a Smith round. He needed that to get back into it.
Joe Calzaghe among the people at ringside. There he is. He's already in training for that big fight on April the 19th against Bernard Hopkins, and of course has been working with Enzo Macronelli in that little gym up there in the valley in South Wales. Beautiful spot. You wouldn't want to run up the hills there.
No, that's right.
And they do.
Yeah, no, I went out there and watched them train, and beautiful setting, but the training, I'm glad I'm retired, John.
Championship, Paul. All right? Keep the heat on the guy, work the body inside. You every time he gets close, you're grabbing. Don't grab the guy, keep touching him. Okay? Keep your head moving under the shots. Okay?
Keep still, shut your eyes.
But you gotta keep backing him up. You gotta stop going back. You're wasting too much energy. Come on, Paul, let's go.
Round 6.
I think Mr. McGirt must have an earpiece from what you're saying. Oh, big opening salvo from Renda. Now we're starting to get a bit of a tear up.
Well, Renda obviously knew that he had a bad round that last round. He started strongly. Oh, 2 good left hooks over from Smith. That's better.
Good attack from Smith. Renda trying to fight back off the ropes. Smith's heard the instructions from the corner, and he's trying now to mount a sustained attack. Being told by his corner, work the body, which he does. There's a terrific right-hand body shot. Gloves come down, 2, 3 headshots, and another one. And Renda is taking some real punishment here in round 6. Another terrific uppercut.
Quality punch in here from Smith.
Terrific uppercut again, and another one. I don't think Renda's got too much left. Almost fell forward onto Smith there with that second right uppercut. And there's still 90 seconds to go in round 6. It's a long time for Renda to get through to the bell, if Smith can sustain it.
What a sustained attack from Smith here. He's got to finish Renda off here, I think.
Renda, remember, started this round so well, came almost sprinting out of his corner. Landed a salvo of headshots to Smith, and he's taking too many now, and rightly so. Marcus McDonnell has said that is it. And that, after an indifferent start, when it came down to the wire, for me, was mighty impressive.
Yeah, quality punch in there from Smith towards the end, and they were power shots, weren't they? And we talked about the quality. We knew that Smith has got the quality. He's also got the power. He put it together there. I mean, it was a barrage of punches, and he sustained the attack, got his man going, and finished him off. Great finish.
It was almost as though he had to shake off the cobwebs. He carried on where he left off in December when there was that indifferent performance, and then suddenly, you know, with his corner man, Buddy McGirt, his trainer, saying, come on, you've got to force him back. You've got to be the man to dictate this fight, and he did it.
He did, and Renda did his job in there tonight. He pushed Smith all the way. Smith wasn't having it his own way. He could have been around, had him around down, to be quite honest, going into that round. But the quality, John, is there from Smith, as we saw, and the way he finished him off. Once he got him going, he just, like a red rag to a bull, and he finished him off superbly well.
I think that was a very good stoppage. You know, I mean, he'd started well at Renda. This was in the early stages of the round, and then Smith started to come back with headshots like that. Those are hurtful punches.
Yeah, a double left hook right at the start of that sequence there from Smith. It was a great, cracking left hook shot, and Renda, that started the landslide, to be quite honest. And Smith here just picking his punches. Oh, powerful shots, right hooks, left hooks.
Some good uppercuts
going in
at one point.
Superb finish.
He kept his foot on the gas, didn't he? He had his man going, and that
Ladies
is
and
good
gentlemen, round of
finishing
applause.
quality.
The two boxers who gave their all.
The crowd responding to what was a very good little scrap, that one. Renda started it well, and Smith had to dig deep and come back, and he's congratulating his beaten opponents.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 55 seconds of round 6, your referee, Marcus McDonald, has stopped the contest. He deemed that Cello Renda was in no fit state to continue. The winner and the new middleweight champion of England, in the blue corner from Liverpool, Paul Smith.
So Paul Smith's undefeated professional career continues with a victory. 23 out of 23 now. Good effort though from Cello Renda, and rightly a sporting round of applause from the ever-growing crowd. But Smith's victory run continues.
Is now presenting.
It's pretty clear, Claude, that the